This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
One, two, three. Hey everybody, welcome to another Shorty edition. This is your Shorty for
June.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Hi.
And,
This little bite-sized episode is kind of where you get an amuse-bouche, an hors d'oeuvre of my worst date. We give you short stories, not long enough to be on the podcast, and we talk about whatever we like, just like we do on the podcast. And if it's your first time here, welcome.
yeah, you went in for like we may have some newbies here. We may have some new listeners. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the recap.
Exactly.
I like it.
Probably
I'm
good
here
to
for
do
that.
every now and again, really,
Sure.
honestly.
Yeah.
So way to go, Christina.
Bienvenue. Yeah. Welcome.
Feeling
Welcome.
all professional today,
Yeah.
I guess. It might be because I was just working, so I'm still in like
Yes.
work head mode, and it's really
Totally.
difficult to transition.
Oh, I have a fun story for you guys. So so you guys know I'm in school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you guys know, of course, but again, new listeners possibly. Going back to school, and I'm in history right now, and my history class, my teacher reached out to everybody today. And was like, hey, this week sucks in the world. So like, if you don't want to do your final and you don't need them points, don't do it. And I was like, honestly, how dare you? I finished it 2 days ago. I'm so pissed off. I'm like, everybody's like, you know what? It just, the world sucks right now. So,
That's how things should operate. That's how things should operate. So full disclosure, because I know that this episode doesn't come out for like a minute. We are recording just like right after some pretty awful world events. Also, just on a personal note, I sound like this because I have COVID right now. So there's just like so much going on. And the way that the
Right.
world just expects us to just plug right back in there and just get right back to work like nothing is going on is truly wild. So props to your teacher for just being like, look,
Yeah.
all of us are
She was like-
barely hanging on. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
Right.
yeah, and she was like, "By the way, here are all the resources, phone numbers of like
Amazing.
here's who you can talk to through the school." She was like, "Also, I see my own therapist, so she's like, highly recommend." I was just like,
God bless for real.
and the only thing in my head though is like, I finished that 2 fucking days ago, and I don't need this for the grade. I already have it. But I do appreciate it for, those other people who didn't finish. soon.
Well,
Yeah, it's almost like
for
that
you.
student loan repayment
exactly.
argument.
It's exactly the same thing where you just kind of have to be like,
You're like,
happy for you.
happy
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. I just finished paying, but good for you. I love this for you.
I love this for you. This is great for you. Well, we were just talking before we started recording about because the world is such a complete garbage dumpster fire right now that we were having such a hard time finding something, kind of light to discuss. And I remembered that Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker finally made it official, tied the knot or whatever. And I have to say that I think that their wedding pictures look really fun. They look like they had a really good time at their wedding. So good for those two. I'm happy for those crazy
for
kids.
you.
But Kourtney Kardashian recently came forward and said, which this has to be a lie. Who is she going to? Who is she talking to? Because she recently came forward and said that her fertility doctor told her to drink Travis Barker's semen.
What?
This is a male doctor for sure.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing wrong?
And hold on, because at least a cup of it a week.
Oh,
A cup. Do you know how much? Do you know how much a cup is?
come
Like
on.
a baking cup?
Get the fuck up. Get out of here. Is her doctor Travis? Like, is her doctor
Also,
like, yeah,
if her doctor
hey, you're
is
gonna have
Travis,
to.
what a weird fetish. Like, No fetish is weird, whatever. Like you do you.
Oh, no, I thought for sure you just got swallow.
No,
is what.
I listen, like I swallow, okay, but it's like, what is it? Like a couple ounces?
Yeah, so you're
like
saying
actual.
how much? Like the amount of you would have
no.
to be milking him
No.
daily to get a cup's worth. And how do you know you're getting enough? Are you just keeping it? Are you keeping it in the fridge until you have like a liquid measuring cup?
Time
full?
fucking out. I did not sign up for
You
this
sure did.
conversation.
Yes, you did.
What is going
Yes, you did.
on? What is
You know what this
happening?
podcast is, Cassie.
Yeah, I'm saying. I think the only way I could do something like that would be if it was like in a smoothie.
Whoa,
or something.
okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're just mixing it into your morning smoothie.
No, Christina. No.
It's like athletic greens.
It's a hard pass all the time. Like
But
there
also-
in no reality am I doing this.
In what fucking medical textbook for female contraception or whatever does it say that?
I'm telling you, a man made this
would
shit
that
up.
help you?
Oh
conceive?
no, her name is Martha Sofer.
Come get
And
listen,
she's an
Martha.
Ayurvedic expert. I don't know what that means, but apparently
sorry,
they're
what?
going to her for
is-
this specific fertility advice.
Ayurveda has something to do with like the air, water, fire, like all those elements being in balance within your body.
Is this
So
Avatar
I
the
do
Last
know what-
Airbender? Because that's really what it's feeling like right now. No. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Air,
But
water,
no, it's-
fire, earth.
It's Captain Planet for your pussy.
No, ma'am. No.
Oh no.
I just don't understand how that would balance
Oh, no.
the elements in you to help. But I don't know. You know, whatever.
Oh,
To each his
no.
own. It's not hurting anybody. It's hurting me knowing that someone's going around drinking a cup of semen. It's just a gross thing to think about.
It is so gross to think about. The consistency
Okay, that
alone.
Yeah, you gotta hope because I mean, consistency is actually inconsistent.
Oh!
I've definitely had like chewier ones.
Do you remember when we talked about?
Swear to God.
Do you remember when we talked about it being chunky one time?
Yes, yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
No.
And what is
No.
that?
Chlamydia. No. Get out of here. No.
Cassie,
Oh, God,
Cassie, right
no.
now is that meme of like Michael Jordan. It's like, stop, get help.
Me. 100. No. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Ooh,
Well, I hate that.
Oh, well, I think we definitely
On that note.
on that note, we can move on to the would you rather portion of the Shorty
of this event.
of this event.
Now that we've gathered you here.
Yeah, now that you've listened to approximately 5 solid minutes of cum talk, let's transition, shall we? Okay. I was looking at Would You Rathers before we started recording, trying to find one for us to discuss. And this one came up, and I found this one interesting because I remember as a young person, whenever I was like, the worst thing that could ever happen to me on this earth would be to disappoint my family members. And I remembered specifically watching like Rock of Love or Flavor of Love and being like, or Bad Girls Club. If you guys remember
gosh.
Bad Girls Club,
Yeah.
and being like, I could never be on this show. Like they have grandparents who are still alive. Like this is so you're dishonoring your family, right? So
Sure.
really,
I was adopted.
so I found still Cassie.
That kind of loyalty.
You still have a family.
I'm kidding.
So I found this Would You Rather that said, would you rather get rich in a way that disappoints your family or make just enough money to live? And this really speaks to how much I've grown as a person, where I'm like, disappoint those motherfuckers all day.
How
They're probably
disappointed are
already
they going to be when their
disappointed.
mortgage is paid off? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
And honestly, like there is a lot I can do that would disappoint my family and still not embarrass me. Like honestly,
oh, totally.
I could
had-
literally just be on Rachel Maddow and disappoint my family.
This entire
Heavily.
first section of this podcast would disappoint my family.
Okay. We're disappointing everyone's families right fucking now.
It's happening
free.
already. For free.
disappointed.
For
free.
Half
I'm
the
disappointing
TikToks
my family.
I've made, disappointing.
Your
Dishonor.
family.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it would just be nice to actually have money for doing what I'm doing already, honestly.
Yeah, I think we nailed that answer. Yeah.
I'm glad we're all on the same page. Like, it's just like, okay, I mean, look, I tried for so long in my young adult life and my teens to like only live my life in such a way that it would be like
God,
of the
it's so
utmost.
freeing to get out of that.
If I could go back, there's so many things I would do if I could go back and do them differently. But the number one thing I would go back would be to stop caring so much about other people's opinions.
100%. 100%. Look, man, people are going to judge you either way.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
I would hoe just as much, maybe more, but I would hoe safer.
Yeah.
I mean, I thankfully got out, crossing myself, not even Catholic, fairly unscathed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a teenage pregnancy, but I mean, minus that, but yeah.
No, there's so much more I would have done. I think I just wasn't brave enough, I think, to go against or to disappoint my family or what have you. And so, I wish that I had been a little bit braver in that respect.
Oh yeah, it's something I work on to this day. I mean, we know we joke about it all the time how much of a people pleaser I am. Still am, like not just with my family members, but with everybody in my life, and it causes you to break down boundaries, personal boundaries for yourself.
Absolutely.
And it's difficult. Like it's really hard on you, and it wears on you, and it wears you down. And so do what you want. Do what you want within the realm of safety and not hurting anybody else. Do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like social media opinions are not real opinions either. Nope. Like I sometimes get a little bit fearful about going like viral or something. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I just want to stay like under the radar. just a my weird ass TikTok.
I've already told you my level of fame is like soap opera star, right? Like soap opera star fame. Like I have fans.
You've got a daytime Emmy.
Yeah. I got a daytime Emmy. It's just low level fame. I can still go to the grocery store. Yeah. I have like the perfect date to start.
Okay. All right.
Though,
okay.
Because it really ties into the the religious side of our upbringing, Keegan. I think you'll appreciate this. So I got this and so this is a layered story. So I'm going to tell you the short story, and then I'm going to share with you some of the comments because so good. So this person on Reddit says she prayed for the entire time it took before the food arrived. She did most of the talking because she wanted me to pray with her. We started praying for random things too, but she was so serious about it. The food took 20 minutes to arrive.
No.
Then she didn't even like what she ordered. Met her in grad school. She ended up leaving the program for another, you probably guessed it, master's in theology.
Oh.
So this person was like, she like prayed about random things. This person was just like, oh, cute. Look at the dog. Dear Lord, please let this beautiful creature have a long, happy life. The guy responded, close. She said, guy's name, is there anything you would like me to pray for? Anything? I said, for the Sonics to come back to Seattle. I said it as a joke because we'd already been praying for 10 minutes already. Then she said, dear Lord, let your light shine upon us. We thank you for everything you've given to us this day. We pray for the great city and its people, and for the Sonics to return to their rightful place.
Absolutely not. I'm
There you
sorry. The way my religious trauma has just been activated. She
said this all with a very serious tone and a straight face. I mean, can you imagine?
No, I think for me, like, I have such a different relationship with religion than you did, because I was raised kind of Catholic. I mean, like a
diet Catholic,
C&E Catholic, Christmas and Easter only. And yeah, it was just never like a serious part of my life, and so it's very difficult for me sometimes to hear like how seriously people take it, because I don't really take anything that seriously, and I'm like, I just don't understand it. It just seems so foreign to me.
Christianity was a huge part of my upbringing, as Keegan has also mentioned as well. So much so that I shared something with you guys yesterday about this big church in Columbus. Like when I was a kid, we started going to this place that was called the Fish House, and they turned it into a place called Xenos. We did not go, like, I don't recall going for a really long time.
They used to have pizza parties.
Oh, they had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I remember as an adult, so I went as a kid, and it was like whatever. I hated going because it was so early in the morning that we had to get up and drive all the way into the city to go to this church. It's like down by campus. And I remember being like, oh, this is such a nightmare, like having to get up that early. So I told my dad, I was like, the children's program is just not really that great. I just don't feel like I'm getting a lot out of it. As a child, I'm like a baby child, like, and he's like, well, yeah, we really want the program to be good for everybody, and that's going. And so we got out of it. But we literally, I mean, it is like a full-on cult, a full-on cult. I know adults who went to it as well.
Yeah, I think there were.
I did go to one of their retreats, in fact, too, to North Carolina that they were talking about. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it was a whole thing. I went because I was like, I want to go on a trip. But
yeah, I don't know. I've been working through, it's been kind of fun to work through some of my religious trauma on TikTok, because people in the comment section, there with solidarity, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truly. Ugh, that's a nightmare. What a nightmare. Okie dokie. I will go next. Okay. First date with a guy. He was going to take me out to dinner, picked me up in his van. As I climbed it, which I already feel, I mean, we've had a few vans on this podcast before, okay? Picked me up in his van. As I climbed in, I noticed that the entire inside of the van was covered in red fake fur.
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
There was,
I'm sorry.
There was a bed in the back with a red velvet curtain halfway across it. Yuck.
What did she get into? The murder mystery machine? Like, yoink, Scoob?
It's like, is there also a disco ball and like a spinning red bed? Like, no.
Oh, no.
That's not what made me climb out again, though. The dashboard was also covered in red fur.
No.
Embedded in it on the passenger side was a photo. I leaned in to see what it was and saw that it was a photo of his erect dick. Climbed right out again.
What?
Oh my God. No.
I mean, that is decor.
Listen, he printed out a photo of his penis and printed it out and put it on his dashboard, embedded in red fur.
Wow.
Sir.
That's a vibe.
Whoa. Wait. Like, that's how I feel about that whole thing. Hand to your chest, just whoa.
Oh,
stop.
Get some help. Get help.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, here's one for you guys. It never progressed to a date, but my college friend wanted to set me up with her boyfriend's roommate. He walked into my dorm room and saw my Irish flag It was hung to separate my bed from my roommates so I didn't have to see her banging randos. Just hear it.
Whoa, that is so
College life.
Yes. So everybody just pretends. Like you're in bunk beds in the dorm and you just have to pretend.
You just pretend.
Like it's not happening. You just dissociate.
So he asked if I was Irish. I go, what would have given you that clue? He said, because my penis is Dublin.
Oh!
I hate it. I really don't like that.
Keegan hates it so much. So much.
You know,
Cassie, you would have been like, let's
get
get married.
Let-
Let's get
no,
married right
100%.
now.
your plans
You
for the
can
rest
totally
of your
see
life.
the difference between Cassie and I because I'm like, you already know that I don't like a dad joke is not my form of comedy.
My penis is Dublin.
No.
I'd be like, what are you doing for the rest of your life?
Run away with me. Woo.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Whew, I got to breathe on that one. Hold on one second to pull up. All right. So this one's a little long for a shorty, but it's a good one. All right. Another one from Reddit. It was a second date years ago. I had this idea that when I date women, I would only go to places I would normally go by myself. The logic being that if they didn't enjoy it going to these places I like to go to, then we weren't really a good match. So
Okay.
I met this girl online and we went to dinner and a movie on the first date and it was very good. So I decided that we would do dinner at a buffet that I really liked. We get there, I paid, we sat down, and she suddenly says, whatever you do, don't turn around. Which, of course, caused me to turn around.
Of course.
Yeah.
There was
Immediately.
a family a family and their son was vomiting on the bench seat, and it was flowing off the bench seat like a waterfall onto the floor. Since we had already paid, I said, let's move to the other side of the restaurant, which we did. She left the table, and suddenly this kid pops up from over the back of the booth in front of me, has his hand over his mouth, and is retching. He jumps off the bench seat, starts to head away, then turns and comes directly at me while holding his hand over his mouth. I wave my hands, no, and he turns and runs away.
Is this The Exorcist?
No sooner did this happen, I heard retching again behind me. I turned around to see a woman holding her hand over a child's mouth while vomit sprayed between their fingertips.
Oh my God.
It was like I was in the vomit twilight zone. The whole time, my date was away from the table and didn't see any of it. She comes back to the table and I'm just stunned, sitting there, having lost my appetite. She says, what's wrong? Then a very dirty man, smelly, filthy clothes, comes up to the booth behind me, bends over and gets in the booth, puts his ass nearly in my face. At this point, I'm completely in disbelief. I didn't know what to say. Anything to ruin, I didn't want to say anything that would ruin my date's meal. As I'm sitting there looking forward, I see an employee of the buffet walking along with a napkin in her hand, picking her nose. At this point, I just smacked the table with my hand and said, okay, it's time to go. My date was completely confused and thought she had done something. Was very concerned. We get to the car and I told her what happened and we just laughed until we had tears rolling out of our eyes. I eventually married her and we both still tell this story, but she adds that if it had been the first date, we probably wouldn't be married.
Wow. This is like a calamity of errors. What was this, like an Olive Garden or something? Like
a buffet.
Like
A buffet.
throwing
A buffet
up,
makes
climbing
it-
into booths, picking noses.
I
Good
mean-
Lord.
A buffet makes it 1,000 times worse. There's like
my
open
God.
air food around.
Oh,
Not in these COVID times.
no, definitely not now.
disgusting.
Oh my God.
Disgusting. Ugh. Okay.
Just is a calamity of errors. Exactly.
That would it's straight up Exorcist shit. Just like anything about vomit spurting or flowing in places
Eric
it shouldn't be.
can't handle that.
Nope.
Even the sound of it, like
Nope.
fake do it. And like he's one of those people that would like, if someone threw up in the room, like it would make him throw up. Like, you know, those people that have
sympathy puker.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Don't let him listen to the first half of this. Or don't let him listen to this entire episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
We should just put a disclaimer at the front. Like, this one's grody. Ew. This one's ew.
Yeah.
Okay. I got set up to meet somebody off of the internet who lived about an hour away. He was supposed to pick me up at noon. At 12:30, he calls and tells me he's lost. He thinks he knows where I am. I should just hang tight. What followed was 6 hours of getting a phone call every hour where I offered to come and find him. And he said, nope, a real man doesn't accept handouts like that.
Sir,
Have fun, dude.
Finally,
Bye.
at nearly 7 p.m., they were supposed to meet at noon. At nearly 7 p.m., he says, I think I'll stop at another gas station and get more directions. And I just cut him off right there. No,
Oh my God.
sorry. No, go home. This isn't going to work. I'm pissed off and frustrated with you. Just go home. But aren't you going to give me a chance? He asked.
Sir,
Go home,
no.
I said.
Sir.
And then he called me a bitch.
Yeah, there you go. You knew it was coming, honestly.
Oh my God.
Woof.
6 hours. That's some
Sir.
toxic masculinity right there. 6
Honestly,
hours.
you have unlocked a brain thing for me.
Uh-oh.
And I had something like this happen, but it turns out like the whole time, like he had never left, had never planned on meeting up, was
What?
just like playing
That's just
like
so
it.
weird. Just cancel.
Yeah, people are weird. People are weird.
Oh
Just keep
my
that in mind when you're swiping.
God.
Everyone's a weirdo. You know? It's
God.
So they're just like steady, like, oh, I'm on my way, but not.
Yeah.
Just sitting at home.
Yeah. And we were going to
Wasting
meet
your
at
time.
a place that was like near my place so I could walk to it. So I was like, oh, just let me know when you're there and I'll walk down. She's like, okay.
Thank
Well,
God.
I'm almost there. And I was be like, okay, well, yeah, just let me know when you're there. And it was like this whole thing. And finally I was just like, I just blocked because it was so weird.
Oh,
It's
what
so
a
weird.
psycho.
Yeah. Okay. I got this one from Reddit. I went on a second date with a physician and he seemed well socialized and normal.
Oh, no.
A decade or more of grueling work and study
Wait.
makes some people a little wacky.
Well socialized, like it's a dog.
Yeah.
He seems well
He
socialized.
seems well socialized. Yeah. He's, good around kids and
Yeah.
other animals. So anyway, we were sitting by a lake and having conversation and he looks at me and I can tell he's going to go for a kiss. Cool. Well, he proceeds to put his top lip over my nose and
No.
his bottom lip on my chin and uses his teeth to kiss me.
I'm
Like the fucking predator.
like a piranha.
No. No.
What?
He's nibbling your lips.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
he's
my
got,
God.
He's like what is that? Like the bottom feeders, like the things that you used to get in your fish tank when you were a kid that would eat the algae. Like literally, like suctioned on and then just using his teeth to make out with you.
Hate that.
My dude,
How
sir.
did that happen? How did it happen? Because I
How?
feel like even if, look, when I was a baby kisser and I was just learning how to kiss, I definitely made some errors.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all
Like,
did.
definitely didn't know how all of it worked. Okay. But I've seen like television and movies. I knew
Right.
the basic concept.
You
like,
practice
has this
on the
person
stuffed animal and then you're fine.
Oh, you don't practice with your friends? Oh. No, I'm just kidding.
That too. So she says, I was pretty shocked in the moment, but didn't want to be rude. So I let it happen
Girl.
for a few seconds before I tasted blood. So I told
Sir.
him I was bleeding and asked him not to kiss me anymore because it hurt.
That's not kissing.
That's
Don't
not
kiss me anymore.
kissing.
Stop sucking off my face. You
Stop
fucking
biting my
crazy-
lips off.
Ah! I hate that. Oh my God.
Predator. Ugh.
Horrifying.
All right, I have one more. It's the shorty. So this is a whole turnabout. Like I went from one end to like an entire other direction. She was really into the whole Wicca religion, claimed that she had made it rain that day.
Great.
Cool.
Said she beat up her ex so bad that the ambulance had to be called and she didn't even get in trouble.
That took a pivot. Whoa.
That's awful.
Sir, ma'am.
You can't. No.
No.
That's assault.
Well,
And also,
What?
Why are you? Why are you
What?
saying that on a date? Like, is that endearing information? I feel
it's
like
very
what does that have
weird.
to do
Like-
with you being Wiccan?
Just
Oh my
wants
God,
to
I'm
prove
so
her power
confused.
because clearly it was her supernatural powers that kept her from getting arrested. I don't know.
ugh, yuck, hate it.
Ugh.
I hate that.
Woof.
Oh, I hate that. Okay, this one is very, very short. This is a tweet, actually.
Okay.
And it was someone responding to their worst first date. He corrected me. When I ordered guacamole, he told the waitress, Guatemala. She means Guatemala dip.
Oh, sorry.
Imagine, like he thinks he's so smart and so suave, and he's
Wow.
like, "Excuse me, little
It's
lady.
pronounced
I think you mean
little lady.
Guatemala dip."
I think I would just take my napkin off my lap and just walk away.
Yeah,
right
I think
out of
we're
there.
done. We're done here.
Yeah.
A, you're gonna well actually me, and B,
Guatemala.
like that. Mm-mm.
You're gonna
Guatemala dip.
mansplain guacamole to me incorrectly.
Yes. I hope the waitress was just like started laughing.
Oh my god!
crying, laughing.
I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face if I was waiting that table. I would laugh. Oh, my
full
gosh.
face,
Yeah.
full out. Oh my God, Guatemala.
Um,
Excuse me, ma'am. I do believe she means Guatemala.
Well, now I'm really craving guacamole.
Oh my God, great.
Okay, I've got one more too.
Okay.
In school, a guy asked if I wanted to meet up on a day everyone got off school for our school's birthday. Is that a thing?
is that a thing? What school are you going to?
And also, like, it's the school of 4th of July.
I don't know. Yeah. He was really hot, so I said yes. I live in rural England, so had to get the bus at 7:30 a.m. to get there because there were only 3 buses a day. And then he messaged to say he'd forgotten he had an appointment to get his braces checked and would be late. No problem. I hung out by myself for a few hours in a tiny village in rural England with nowhere to go in January.
Oh,
Then he arrived and he'd brought his laptop with him. He spent most of the day showing me his music that he recorded,
no.
mixed, and uploaded to YouTube.
No.
His music was objectively utter shite, but still super hot guy. And by all accounts, from everyone that knew him, a really nice, cool, smart, and interesting person. So I stuck with it. He was clearly nervous, kept his fists clenched the entire time, and barely even looked at me. He barely spoke, and when he did, it was mumbled, and he looked like he was in physical pain.
no.
I decided to kiss him. It was so bad. The worst kiss I'd ever experienced.
I don't know. Did he have his mouth
A whole
Yeah, was he
mouth.
biting your lips off?
Was he making out with his teeth? A whole mouth of metal, and legitimately did not move his lips at all. It was so awkward. Turns out he had anesthetic at the dentist, and his whole bottom half of his face was completely numb and also incredibly painful at the same time. Oh my God. He is, in fact, a really nice, cool, smart, and interesting person, and I ended up marrying him.
Oh, that's
that's
great. I love that. I love that for
He
you.
was like, I'm going on this date. He's just like numb from the cheek down. He's like, we're going to make out now.
just smashing his mouth into your face.
I can't move his lips. He's just like, just rubbing. Oh my gosh. Well, if you have stories, be they short or long, if you just want to reach out and say hi, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is this.
Let's go! Let's go!
Show up on day 1, work out with us for 30 minutes, feel good right away.
Yo!
Repeat 5 days a week for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
5 workouts a week.
We're a body, and we call that a body block.
You pick the block, and you're going to love the experience.
On week 4, this part is really important. Take the week off. Seriously, we mean it. Rest. Go on vacation. Or try something new. Maybe some yoga.
Notice you're not holding on to any tension here.
Or a dance class.
Get sexy with it, daddy.
You do you. And then start again.
Be committed to this process.
Choose a new body block each month. Get a new challenge each month. Have fun every day. Avoid burnout.
You're not going to quit on yourself today.
This is how you reach your goals. You in?
There is nothing that we can't do if we work together.
Sign up for your first body block today. Visit body.com for a free trial. That's BODI.com.
Are you ready to get started?
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.